Caravaggio doesn't appear on tourist maps. It hides away, just 20 minutes from Puerto Plata, close to the ocean, to surfing, to cruise ships, to an international airport. It isn't far from the all inclusive hotels, but here, there are no paved roads. The soundtrack? Not waves, not tourists laughing, not glasses clinking in cheers. It's the sound of barefoot children running, roosters crowing at dawn, motorcycles humming down dusty paths. Life here moves to a different rhythm. Caravaggio is a tapestry of cultures. Haitians, Dominicans, families who cross the border seeking a better life, and those who have never known another home. All sharing the same space, the same struggles, the same hopes. This place began as a batey, a word from the Taino people, once meaning plaza or communal space. In Dominican history, batey became the name of the sugarcane labor camps. Settlements for workers, many of them Haitians, paid little, living in harsh, invisible conditions.
La mayoría venían solteros porque solamente traían de Haití los empleados que venían al corte de la caña. Luego finalizada la cosecha de la caña y cerraba porque tenía un círculo.
Ajá, ¿cómo es el ciclo?
Duraba 3 o 4, 5 meses trabajando. Luego de que cerraba el ingenio, la fábrica cerraba, ya ahí todo, una mayoría se retiraban otra vez a su país, pero algunos se enamoraban, algunos se conquistaban, algunos fueron trayendo su familia y se fueron formando aquí. Por ende, ustedes ven que aquí en nuestra comunidad hay muchos haitianos porque vinieron y se quedaron, forman su familia, ya se convirtieron en vecinos nuestros.
Caravaggio no longer grows sugarcane, though, but the legacy lingers. Wooden and tin homes line the roads. Services are scarce. Legal documents are missing. Opportunities are rare. And yet, there is something powerful here. Mothers walking miles to bring their children to school. Teenagers daring to dream of a different future. Children whose laughter lights up the dusty air. This is where New Heights Volunteer Programs finds its purpose. A bridge between two worlds, those who come from far away and those who live here every day. It's not just about teaching English. It's about connection, about sharing games, conversations, perspectives. Every volunteer brings their own story.
That's us. Yeah, keep them over there, please. Keep them
And
over there.
every child offers one in return. Sometimes joyful, sometimes painful, but always real. Inside the classroom, laughter blends with learning. Questions emerge. How do you teach without imposing? How do you support without judgment? Here, every lesson is an exchange. And often, those who come to teach are the ones who learn the most. They learn about resilience, about gratitude, about how, with so little, people can live with so much humanity. In Caravaggio, mornings start early. The roosters call, children gather, school begins. For many, the school is a refuge, a meeting place, an opportunity.
Nana vista. Nana vista. Any, many, that's a mini, walla, walla, mini. Octilia and tata, Arthur and tata. Vista, vista.
Some students walk alone. Some come without books, without internet, without steady electricity. But each has something to give. This community, often overlooked, has found in education a way to endure, a way to hope. Because this program is more than a lesson plan, it's a belief in the power of human connection. Teaching here, it's not only about words or grammar, it's about seeing, listening, recognizing each other. Caravaggio has open wounds, yes, but it also has open doors. For anyone willing to look with new eyes and plant something with empathy. This is not about saving anyone, it's about walking together, step by step, towards a better understanding of each other, more just. Caravaggio is not an easy place, but it is full of stories worth telling. This is one of them, and it's only the beginning. Like so many stories of transformation, this one begins with someone who dares to teach. In Caravaggio, teachers are more than educators. They are mentors, guides, and sometimes the first people to say to a child, "I believe in you." For these teachers and scholars who travel thousands of miles from the United States, this journey is not about grammar or reading skills. It is about connection. It is about bringing their culture, their language, their skills into a community that, at first glance, may seem very different from their own. But once they step into the classroom, surrounded by eager eyes and laughter, the differences begin to fade and the human connection takes over. Miss Sophia, who carefully designed the English as a second language program, knows this all too well. Her vision was simple, yet ambitious, to create a structure where Dominican and Haitian children could learn a language that opens doors to jobs, opportunities, a future beyond the limits of poverty. She didn't just write lesson plans. She built a bridge. For her, teaching is not about memorization, but about giving children the confidence to dream and the tools to express those dreams in another language.
How do you get involved in the program?
All right. So I became involved through Mr. Smith's recommendation. He told me about the program in the DR, and he explained that the school was looking to change it a little bit by implementing an ESL curriculum. And he said that he would love it if I would become a part of the team based on what he's observed in my own personal practice in the classroom. And then I was a part of the team.
The workload that I thought would be presented to her and probably what she thought would be presented to her turned out to be way beyond what that early expectation was, but she attacked it with the same energy, ferocity, and dedication that she does in her classroom at the school. So over the next 6 months from those conversations, Mrs. Smith and a small team of teachers worked to develop an ESL curriculum that could be brought down here and shared at the school. And the overall mission was to, present opportunities to students, but also to build in those opportunities to make connections within the community, but also with the educational community at the school that we're working with.
Creating the curriculum, my mindset was on how can I create this curriculum so that it is intentional, meaningful, and impactful to the community that we are servicing. That part was just mountains of so many things that I had to think about and work through and go back and forth with myself with. And then with building this program, how effective is it going to be once we get on the ground? And then if it doesn't work, how is that going to make me feel? So the program takes into consideration 4 components. It takes in the building blocks of language acquisition, which is speaking, listening, reading, and writing. In addition to that, we know with language acquisition, vocabulary is very important. You need to know the vocabulary in order to start stringing sentences together. It was important to create a spiral curriculum. And what that means is with each class, they're seeing the same vocabulary again and again. They're using those 4 pillars of language acquisition throughout all of the classes. But then with certain classes, let's say if the focus is on reading, then that for that period, that takes up most of the time, but they're still speaking, listening, and writing within that lesson. So in that way, it spirals throughout the day so that at the end of the day, the students have seen the vocabulary so much, they've heard it so much that it's sticking faster. And so that's the gist of what we leaned into to create the curriculum for the program. So we took into consideration the types of learners. You have your kinesthetic learners, you have your linguistic learners, your visual learners. So we wanted to bring all of that into play. So with that being said, some of the visual tools that we've used are our slide decks, we've used exemplars, we use modeling, we use for our auditory learners, a lot of videos, a lot of singing, call and response activities. For our kinesthetic learners, we incorporate the movement. So we have gallery walks, presentations.
Hello, my name is Yurielis. I am from Dominican Republic. I live in Los Ciruelos. I am 12 years old.
My name is Justin. I am from República Dominicana.
Thank you so much.
Just any activity that's going to get them moving and active. A lot of cutting and pasting as a part of the tactile pieces of learning. Some of the materials we've used, we've brought in our laptops, speakers, projector. We brought in some books for the students that they will keep at the end of the program. so that they can read to family members, read the books again as they continue to develop their English skills, read the books more independently. That is the goal, but they have like literature in English that belongs to them. We created a workbook, so they have a workbook. Each student have their own workbook. In addition to that, we have like mini flip books, flashcards. We created word walls in the classroom. So anything that we could think of bringing that would help them learn English, we brought with us for the most part. With New Heights students, we wanted their experience to be meaningful as well. So the idea was to have them come in as pair coaches. And as pair coaches, in essence, they're like mini teachers working in small groups, which makes it more intimate. I think that was incredibly positive in that the students were really excited to impress their pair coach. They were more excited to practice in the small groups. They were more comfortable in that setting versus having to share with the larger group. And eventually, when we got to sharing with the larger group, they were excited to do that as well because their pair coaches would encourage them saying, you can do it. Give it a try, let's go up together. So it's that motivation in the small groups that really extended into the larger group and made it fun for the entire class. The pair coaches also with me every evening. We talk about what went well, what challenges we faced, what to look forward to in the coming days. How could we make changes to make it better the next time we implement the program. So that is the goal. The goal was to build intentional relationships because it is difficult coming into a new space and telling you to learn everything that I'm giving you. And then at the same time, I need you to trust that I have your best interests at heart. So that relationship building part was a key thought that I was intentional with implementing so that the DR students have that connection, the New Heights students have that connection, and it's meaningful for both parties, and it's meaningful for me in that space as well. And that part is, I guess, the key to where the true teaching and learning is happening.
For years, they have returned wearing many hats: teachers, mentors, volunteers. Their passion is not only in the lessons, but in the relationships. They know the challenges these children face, the lack of resources, the fragility of their homes, the daily struggles of their families. And yet, they have witnessed resilience. Students who rise above circumstances, who surprise everyone, including themselves. Through their eyes, we understand that teaching here, it's not a one-way street. The volunteers come to give, yes, but they leave with something even greater: perspective, humility, and gratitude.
Our kind of targeted focus is really on ESL. The interesting thing about this work right now is that I feel that our scholars that we're bringing down are benefiting as much with the interactions with language as the students are that they're working with. So there's reciprocal learning that's taking place, which I love seeing that.
The needs are endless and the resources are not. Still, the teachers persist because they know that each small victory, a child reading a sentence in English, adds up to something so much larger.
You know, it's very exciting. The kids are so eager. They're very hungry for knowledge. The school is in fairly good shape compared to some of the other schools that I have seen, but there's certainly a need for like materials and a variety of ways to learn. I think the children experience learning in a very different way, really hands-on, interactive, with a variety of different ways to access knowledge and materials. Thankfully to Sophia Smith, who we brought on this year as our lead instructor, who developed all the curriculum. Yeah, and so the kids just were really excited and they were engaged every day, and even when they got tired, you know, they were just excited to learn, and they had progressed so quickly. I think for the first time, these students and teachers who are able to watch the program in action got to experience just different way to access information, whether it was like gallery walks and looking at other people's work, having conversations with each other, and just like simply applying all of the methods that she put into place. And with that kind of method, it really stuck. So by day 3, when we took them out for the day, they were already talking to each other in English without any prompting from us whatsoever. And it was like such a blessing and a surprise. And it was nice. I could see how the children were able to like build their confidence just over a few days. And they're not afraid to try now, I think that it would be great to continue to do a program like this, but also offer advanced levels as they move on.
They are hungry to know, and that part is, I haven't seen that in a very long time, that wanting to just know, I want this information, I know that this is important to me, and I know that it is important for my future, and that brings with it just an appreciation and a desire for learning, and the relationships that we've built with this community in the 2 weeks and 3 days that we've been here is incredible.
And this is why they come back, year after year. The teachers remind us that education is not just about books or tests. It is about dignity. It is about hope. And it is about planting seeds in the hearts of children who may one day grow into leaders, teachers, and change makers themselves. In Caravaggio, the teachers are not only shaping lessons, they are shaping lives. They come from far away, from classrooms and cities that feel like a different world compared to Caravaggio. Young faces, each with their own story, their own dreams, and their own reasons for being here. For some, it was a return, a second or even third time volunteering in the Dominican Republic. And for all of them, the experience became much more than what they expected. From the very first day, they gave themselves completely to the program. Every night, after long hours at school, they sat down together to prepare lessons, write in their journals about what they had experienced over the day, and to share ideas on how to make each class better. What started as a volunteer assignment quickly became a personal mission. But this story is not only about the volunteers. It is also about the children of Caravaggio. For many of them, the school is more than a classroom. It is their safe place, their community, their chance to dream. These are incredibly intelligent children. Many are bilingual already, speaking both Creole and Spanish. And they absorbed English with remarkable speed.
Hi everybody, my name is Francesca. I am from Dominican Republic. I live in Severe. I am 14 years old.
Intuitively, joyfully, as if the language was waiting inside them to be unlocked. They studied with effort and dedication, and a light in their eyes that spoke of possibility. Every child has a story. Paloma, who is blind, surprises everyone each day with her determination and her courage. Others carry dreams of becoming teachers, doctors, leaders, dreams that may seem far away, but which grow stronger with every lesson, every word of encouragement. And above all, what they saw in the volunteers was not just English lessons, but love, a genuine interest in their future. Prove that their lives matter, that someone believes in them. One of the deepest connections came through a simple game, basketball. The children of Caravaggio are extraordinary players, even with no shoes, even with no proper hoop. Their talent and passion shine through. The game united everyone, volunteers and children, through laughter, movement, and pure joy. And then we have Mackenzie. Born in Caravaggio, he embodies the hope these programs create. He speaks Haitian, Creole, Spanish, and English, a leader in his own right, showing the children that they too can step into roles of responsibility and pride. Mackenzie is proof that education here is not charity, it is empowerment.
So this program helped me a lot, to be honest. Same I start learning how to speak English and just be involved in everything. And for me right now to explain how's everything been changing in my life is something really big. Because I've been able to help my families, and I've been able to help my mom with a house. So all my brothers right now, they are together. And I feel very happy because I got that opportunity to learn how to speak English, how to be around of different type of people, and being able to be a man same I was a kid, because I always have those people around me. And I used to be one of the guys who's in charge to come with different idea, how to help the community. It's opened new door for everyone I've been seeing around doing the same thing too. Because when someone open a door for you, that opportunity is not only for you, it's also for the people you got behind you. So I feel very happy seeing those kids around, playing, doing the same thing I used to do before. So that brings me joy. One of my dreams is to start to make a lot of difference in my community. Start doing maybe project in the future to keep helping the others. So that is the thing who's keep me coming. Every time when I have a moment, free time, I just come here and I start playing with the kids, trying to lead them, whatever thing they try to do, or when they feel like there is nothing they can do to make the difference, and I just use myself like example. I said, look at me. So if I do it, you can do it too. So never stop, never give up. Nadie en este mundo tiene que perder la esperanza. La esperanza es lo último que se pierde. Lo digo como un niño o un joven que creció aquí, en medio de donde no había nada, lo que había solamente caña. Y si yo pude hacerlo, yo creo que cualquier joven lo puede lograr también, porque tarde o temprano alguna puerta se te va a abrir. Lo que tienes que tener en mente de que si te llega una oportunidad, no lo aproveches por ti solo. Trata de que esa oportunidad otro también lo pueda aprovechar.
Still, through all of this, both children and volunteers gave their best. The children embraced every lesson, every act of kindness, with humility and joy. And the volunteers carried with them not only the responsibility of teaching, but also the privilege of learning from the resilience, the strength, and the brilliance of these young lives. In the end, this experience changed everyone. For the children, it was proof that the world can open its doors for them. For the volunteers, it was a lesson in humanity, a lesson in service, and a lesson in love. Because in Caravaggio, what started as English classes became something greater, a bridge of hope, built with words, with games, shared moments, and the certainty that education has the power to transform lives on both sides.
My name is Amari Walker. I'm the executive director of New Heights Charter School and the president of the Resiliency Foundation. I got into education back in 1997, and I did so because so many teachers were responsible for really making a huge difference and a major impact in my life. And I felt like when I went to college, I knew that I had to devote myself to service and doing for others what they did for me. So really, without teachers intervening in my life at that very critical stage later in my formative years of 16, 17, and 18, my life would be very different today. So I felt like a real mission, a real urgency to do the same for others what they had done for me. So when I left college, I became a teacher. Shortly thereafter, I became an administrator. I ran a program for troubled kids. A little bit about me, I got in a lot of trouble when I was in high school. I was actually expelled from 2 schools. It were teachers that helped refocus me, get me back on track. So when I became a teacher, I quickly started a program for kids who were much like myself in trouble. Most of them looked like me, and saw that they needed to have the opportunities that teachers afforded me in order to get through high school at that critical stage of their lives as well. So I did that for 7 years. Then I became an associate principal at a major district called Fall River. And then I became a principal by the age of 33, where I was a principal of an alternative high school for kids, once again, who needed something different. And that's where I learned about early college. There was a program called Gateway to College, and there we sent some of our best and brightest students to college while they were still in high school. And I thought, wow, like this shouldn't be a program. This is what schools should look like. So in 2012, we started this crusade of opening an early college high school in an urban district in Massachusetts. That proved to be one of the most difficult challenges ever, because early colleges had never been done, and charter schools were not looked upon favorably throughout the state. So we had to prove both things, that we could run a charter school in a district that didn't want us, and that we could open an early college school where we were taking students through a lottery, not through an application, and promising that they would have the opportunity to not only attend college, but to earn enough credits to have an associate's degree before they left high school. It was a very, very, very ambitious plan. The state denied us twice to say it's just not possible. And then on the third attempt, we put some pieces in place to make sure that we could provide the support students needed to be successful. And the state said, we'll give you a shot. And in 2016, we opened our doors. We had 315 spots, and we had over 900 applications. When we looked at those 900 names on the applications, we realized they had mostly Haitian or French surnames. And that was the first realization that this is not only going to be a school for children of color, but that it would be a school for mostly children of Haitian descent. Wow. And I had a lot to learn, because being African American, while we have the same skin color, I learned there were very different cultures. So those first few years, I was amazed by the commitment these families had, and how involved not only the parents were, but aunts and uncles and grandparents. And as we progressed, we had our first graduating class in 2021. We had this ambitious goal of having 50% of our students who graduate earn an associate's degree, which is 2 years of college. And we were told over and over again, there's no way in a lottery system where you don't take applications that you could have 50% of students, especially students of immigrant families, earn their degrees. And not one person believed in us except for our teachers and our students and their families. So in 2021, our first graduating class had 51% of its seniors graduate with an associate's degree. It was the first time in Massachusetts history where the majority of any senior class graduated with 2 years of college completed. And in this past graduating class, we had over 60%. So we continue to get better at what we're doing. We're very excited about, not only the success of our children, but also what they're learning while they're with us. We call ourselves a social justice school, where, we pride ourselves on how we treat each other, how we talk to each other, making sure that what we're doing not only benefits ourselves, but the others around us, and then how we can make a difference not only in our own community, but afar. And that's what brought us to looking at our international service programs and what we could do abroad to share the success of what we've learned and what we do and how we work with one another back at home at New Heights.
In the classrooms, we saw young children learning English faster than anyone imagined. We saw students who arrived shy and uncertain, now speaking with confidence and pride. We saw resilience, hope, and hunger for education. The impact is visible. You can see it in the smiles, in the hugs, in the journals the volunteers filled with reflections, in the basketball court that became a symbol of unity, where children played barefoot and still taught us what joy looks like.
In 2020, Joseph Caesar, he's one of our Haitian teachers, said we have to do something where our students can work with students from Haiti in some type of service project. And at the time, we hadn't had a fully built out plan, but he said, I want to bring you to Haiti and I want to show you some of the different schools so you can understand the culture and then we can come up with a plan of what we're going to do. So we scheduled a trip, and that spring, the president was assassinated.
Bloody manhunt underway now in Haiti to capture or kill the assassins who gunned down.
Tonight, a twist in the investigation into the assassination of Haiti's former president, Jovenel Moïse. The report comes just days after the Haitian police shut down anti-government protesters demand.
We didn't cancel. He kept saying, let's keep an eye out, let's see if there's an opportunity, let's see if things calm down. And around the start of the school year in September, he said, this is not a good idea. We have to come up with a plan B. And I said to him, what about the Dominican Republic? It's right next door. And he said, I don't know if that would be wise. He said the dynamics are very different. If you ever want to hear Haitian history, you go to Mr. Caesar and he'll tell you everything. Not only that, he brought in other folks to fill in the blanks. So we had a great meeting. And at the end, he said, there are some places called bateys, and I hope I'm saying that correctly, where there are large Haitian populations, and they may be actually more needy than folks in Haiti. And we might be able to do a project in one of the bateys. And I was fascinated by the whole idea of these sugarcane plantations that have closed down and what that could look like in terms of a service learning project for us. So we flew out in 2021, the winter, and we started visiting bateys. We had never seen a place where there wasn't running water. In some places there wasn't electricity. And the conditions of living were just very different. We settled on a little community called Cangrejo, and we started talking with public officials to see what we needed to do in order to start a project in Cangrejo.
We also saw what is missing: resources, teachers, and the stability that only continued support can bring. This is not just the end of a month. It is the beginning of something much bigger. For 4 weeks, students of two worlds learned, played, and grew together. They built friendships that crossed language, culture, and borders. But the future of this program depends on all of us. Every dollar makes it possible to keep these classrooms alive, to expand opportunities, and to continue breaking the cycle of poverty through education.
I am humbled. I think that's the word, by what people are able to endure, what people are able to overcome. The fact that students waking up every morning and coming to school in the summer voluntarily, learning a language that is foreign to them, but they're doing it because it gives them more opportunity, many more options. And these could be the difference, this language could be the difference that decides whether they get a job, whether they can support their family when they get older. And that type of investment is priceless. I feel like after talking, especially to the elders in Cangrejo, that people sweep into communities like Cangrejo and Caraballo, and they usually don't look like us, right? They're usually these white missionaries who show up and they do their nice deed. They feel good about themselves and they go home. And life goes on for the people of those communities as usual. And I feel as though there's so much more to do. We are going to make a difference in these 28 students' lives because we've not only created a program where we're teaching them a language, but I think we've offered hope, right? And we will continue, hopefully, over the school year, working with these students virtually, and then come back next year and continue this program with those same students. So I think for those 28 students, we're giving them a huge head start, right? And who knows what will happen beyond that. For students who aren't, those 28 students, we're hoping to start another program for them that mimics what we're doing now so we can run 2 different phases concurrently next year. So that's the hope, that's the plan. But it's just a start. These kids are 7th, 8th, and 9th graders who attend that school. When they are done, they have to go to a regional school, which is so far away, and there's so many complications to get to and from that that will be something, hopefully, that we can take on to help either try to find more transportation so that more kids can go to that school, or potentially even build a school for them later in their academic career. So those are things that I would love to look into. We have a lot of conversations to have, and we need a lot of permissions. Like I said, just running this summer program wasn't easy. It had to have a lot of conversations. But at the end of the day, the work is worthy, and I think we're beginning to make a difference. But we have so much more work to do. There's so many challenges in this community. Who you serve matters. And, we are serving a population in this country that is typically overlooked. And we didn't exclude anyone. Everybody had the opportunity, but what we found is that most of the students in our program are of Haitian descent. And we want to make sure that as we progress, the government will allow us to continue to serve this population in the way we are right now. We gain some real support to serve this population particularly. So we want to make sure that as we progress, that everybody gets an opportunity to participate, and that want to make sure that we continue to be able to do very, very necessary work for folks who are very deserving of it. I'm very grateful to have this opportunity, and that the government of the Dominican Republic is allowing us to do this. This is definitely an experiment, and something I think could serve as a playbook for other communities, not only in the Dominican Republic, but worldwide. Our teachers are passionate about their work. Not only are they passionate about teaching students, but they're passionate about actually serving as role models for teachers here. The methodologies that we use to get our students prepared to a point where they can take college while still in high school, they're being taught here to teachers, and we hope that type of professional development trickles down to improving the quality of education provided to these students, even when we're gone. We spend a lot of time showing our teachers what good teaching looks like and making them into super teachers, because our students are worthy of a high quality education, and that can be shared with folks here. And I think that makes all the difference in the world. I think what an unbelievable opportunity to take these 2 cultures and get them to work together, instead of focusing on their differences, focusing on their similarities, and work together to bring economic prosperity to a community in ways that no other place like theirs is doing. So if I was someone who wanted to get behind something, I can't imagine there being a better location with more potential in the world where you can make a difference that is substantial and sustainable. And I know education is just the first layer, but I think once you educate a community that's thirsty for it and provide them an opportunity that exists, I think it could set the example for what communities like theirs, all these other bates that have been abandoned by, plantation owners, can do worldwide.
As the buses left and the children waved goodbye, one truth was clear. This is not an ending. It is a seed that needs water, care, and belief to grow.
Hello, my name is Dario. I am from Dominican Republic. I am 14 years old. I live Severe. Nice to meet you.
Hello, my name is Roseli. I am 14 years old. I am from Dominican Republic. I live in Severe. My birthday is April 11. Thank you. Yeah.
Hello, my name is Yurielis. I am 12 years old. My birthday is January 21. I like playing baseball. I like to cooking. I don't like to swim. I don't like playing basketball.
We saw tears in their goodbyes because what was built here was real, a shared humanity. And you, yes, you, are part of that growth. Join us, support us, believe in this dream, because together, we are not just changing a community, we are changing the future.